I want to talk to you guys about something that I spoke to my YouTube audience yesterday, which was the topic of the Jews in America who vote Democrat. Not only do they vote Democrat, they seem to have these very, very strange opinions when it comes to the Middle East. When I say strange, I'm being very nice. I'm being very, very, very nice. You know, my friends, just yesterday I received from a friend of mine a screenshot of a Facebook story that was posted by her friend, and the Facebook story was written by I guess an American Jew, and the American Jew said the following: For those of you Jews who think that Trump supports Israel, he actually doesn't. He supports Bibi, and who is a indicted criminal, blah 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 blah, corrupt, whatever it is. Okay, and he, and the Iran deal, getting out of Israel out of the Iran deal, or pulling out of America out of the Iran deal, puts Israel in danger. Now I'm sitting and reading this, and I'm thinking to myself, this is not, this is one of many very, very, very stupid and misguided opinions on just foreign policy and on America Israel policy that I have seen from American Jews. And I'm trying to figure out, what is it? What is this? I don't want to say the word mishigas, but what is this malfunction in the collective brain of, I would say, 75%, and I'm saying 75% because that's per statistics, that's apparently who's going to be voting for Biden. 75% of American Jews, and I'm trying to figure it out, and I really can't. I don't know if it's just they can't get past the optics of what they see with Trump. For example, guys, I'm listening to the Frum Jews, and they say, well, Trump doesn't represent our values of a Torah Jew. I don't know how you could be a Torah Jew and support Trump. My friends, I'll tell you guys something. I'm a Torah Jew, and if you assume that Trump, the way that he behaves and the values that he holds, let's say you assume you know all the values that he holds, and you assume you know everything he's done in his life and all the misdeeds and all this stuff, blah blah blah, and you say anywhere, in my opinion, he 50 to 75% of the way he lives his life does not correspond with Torah and or Hashem. If you say that Trump is at the level of 50 to 75, I would say that the Democrats and the people who hold by what the policies the Democrats push and support probably go against the Torah 99% of the time on 99% of the issues, my friends. And don't talk to me about Tikkun Olam. Don't talk to me about your, moralism or your moral relativism or your self-perceived morality. I'm telling you what the Torah says, and the way you guys, or the way the Democrats behave, and you voting for Democrats by extension. So if you're a Torah Jew and you vote for Democrats, and I'm not going to go into the policies that the Democrats espouse, and I'm not even going to go into the, let's say, the things that they've said that they fear that the confirmation of Amy Coney Barrett will represent, right? A certain Supreme Court decision that's going to be, they think is going to be repealed. So if you're a Torah Jew and you're also afraid that that's going to happen, then I don't know if you're a Torah Jew, if you can claim that you're a Torah Jew. So when you come and you say, well, Trump doesn't represent Torah values, I think he represents Torah values a little bit more than the people that you guys vote for. Okay? So all that aside, my friends, all that aside, you come to Jews and you say, well, how can you say that Trump is anti-Semitic? You guys are saying that he's anti-Semitic. I'm talking to you Jews, 75% of you. And I tell you, well, Trump moved the embassy to Jerusalem. Out of all the presidents that ever promised it, out of all the politicians ever said they were going to do it, he actually went and did it. And I've heard people literally come and tell me, well, that doesn't mean anything to me. It's just not important. I don't care. It doesn't change anything with respect to how he is towards Jews, with respect to who he is, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, those same people, you same people that are saying that, you've been going to AIPAC for years and years and years. You've been listening to every single president, both Republican and Democrat. You've been listening to Bill Clinton, you've been listening to Obama, you've been listening to Bush and Daddy Bush and Reagan talking about moving the end. I don't know who was the first one to say that. Maybe Bill Clinton was the first one to say it. I'm not sure. Maybe Reagan was. I know Carter definitely wasn't. Moving the embassy to Jerusalem, and it was so important for you to hear it and listen to it, and yes, and wonderful. And now Trump comes along and actually does it, and now you're like, well, I just don't care. I just don't care. And now he comes along, and for the longest time, Israel, I'm telling you guys, I went up to the Golan and I met with a friend of mine who runs this organization called Golan Development Fund, and we met with Druze, the Druze people. We met in their city councils, in 3 of their city councils, or 2 of them, I think. And they told us that for the longest time, they were afraid that Israel was going to give up the Golan Heights. Why? Because they were being pressured by an American administration, by Europeans, by the UN, whoever it was. And everybody thought, even in Israel, that the Golan Heights were going to be given away to Syria. And now Trump comes along. And we know that the Golan Heights, even Bibi said before Trump became the president, he said if we had given this away, our country would have been overrun by ISIS, by Daesh. And now Trump comes along and he says, this is part of Israel, I recognize the Golan Heights. And then he comes along, essentially, not directly, but through Pompeo, who said basically, that I told David Friedman he could tell the people in Israel, you could do whatever you want with Judea and Samaria. So he comes along and he declares, he moves the embassy, he says you can take Judea and Samaria, he says the Golan is yours, and you guys have the audacity to walk around and to say, you 75% of American Jews, he's anti-Semitic, he's this, he doesn't represent, and then the Frumies, some of you guys, not all of you, but some of these like weird Frumies, what I like to call, I don't know what they are. He doesn't represent our values, Torah values, he does this, he does that. My friends, I'll tell you, again, if Trump, according to your philosophy, right, your whacked out philosophy, goes against 75% of the Torah, then the Democrats go against 99.99999, if not 100% of the Torah. Okay? And you guys continue to vote for them. You guys continue to vote for Ilhan Omar and AOC and these other clowns who basically are like, what these people are? You know what these people are? This AOC and Ilhan Omar, these are the people who would have been who were like the rejects for the tryouts for the Bader Meinhof, Carlos the Jackal gangs, the people that hijacked the airplanes in the 70s, the ones that actually Bibi had to save, the hostages. These are these kind of people. They're in Congress, and you guys vote for their party. And you say, well, no, I vote, I don't support them. I support the moderates in the Democratic Party. I'm sorry to tell you guys, the moderates, if you guys think of the moderates like Pelosi and Schumer, are being pulled, by their tuchises, by this AOC and Ilhan Omar. These guys are the new leaders of the Democratic Party. They're the vanguard of the party that you guys vote for. Okay? So I'm like listening to you guys, and you guys are talking about, this deal with these Arab countries, it's funny, if you guys listen to John Kerry when he was, I think, Secretary of State, he said, Israel is never going to make these deals with these Arab countries unless they first handle figure out the Palestinian situation. Guys, I'll tell you something. I've never been an official in any government. I don't have a master's in I have a bachelor's in political science, but I don't have a master's in foreign affairs. I don't even have a PhD in foreign affairs, but I could have told you since I'm 10 years old, since the Madrid flippin' conference in 1991, that these Arab nation states look at my neighbors, the people who live with me, next to me, quote-unquote the Palestinians, as second-class citizens. How do we know that? Because if you talk to any Palestinian who lives in a place like Lebanon or Syria or Jordan, he would tell you that they live in apartheid, that they are not allowed to go to a Lebanese or a Syrian like Alawite or Jordanian Hashemite school. They have to go to their own Palestinian only designated school in those countries, my friends. Therefore, they are considered second-class citizens. And if they are considered second-class citizens, what does that mean? That means that this Palestinian issue or these people have been used as a pawn by these Arab nation states for their own political, geopolitical purposes. So if you're a leader with enough brains and enough beitzim, as we say in Israel, to come to the Arab nation states and say, well, listen, guys, the jig is up. I know what you guys have been doing. I know how you guys feel about the Palestinians. Let's get real. Let's get serious. And I know you've been doing under the table business dealings with Israel for years and years and years. How about we just bring it from under the table, above the table, onto the table, and let's just bypass this whole thing. We'll figure out the Palestinian issue later. Let's just make peace. Let's do business. Let's fly, let's take airplanes through airspace. Let's do some business. Enough of these games. Not only that, we have the same enemy. Okay? We have the same enemy. That's Iran. And my friends, to you idiots, to you geniuses, you Jews, 75% of you American Jews are saying, yeah, oh, the Iran deal, it's an impediment, what is it called? It's hurting Israel. My friends, the Iran deal is a kicking the can down the road situation. We got out of this deal. Trump took America, and by extension Israel, out of this deal, and now the Iranian regime is about to collapse. If you guys listen to this guy, his name is Tzvi Heskeli. He's a newsman in Israel, and he actually went undercover in Europe, and he went undercover as a Muslim, and he exposed all of the anti-Semitism in the in the Arab world. And he said, I think it was 2 days ago, he said, basically a vote for Trump is a vote to squeeze and choke the Iranian regime out of existence. Basically, they are on their deathbed, they are on life support. And a vote for Biden is a vote to revive them and to make them alive again, and a vote to give them billions and billions of dollars like Obama gave them. Okay, my friends? That's it. So, to all of you Jews watching, you American Jews who are voting, it's funny. I asked the question, what is your major malfunction, as they said in the movie, what is it? A Full Metal Jacket, Private Pal. What is your major malfunction? I figured out what your major malfunction is, actually, my friends. If you read the Midrash, 80%, the Midrash says, the allegorical commentary to the Torah, it says that 80% of the Jews, unfortunately, stayed in Mitzrayim. Unfortunately, they stayed in Mitzrayim. So if 75% of American Jews are voting for Democrats, who I just outlined why it's a problem, then I guess we are slightly ahead of the curve in this generation. So I give you guys credit at least for that, being 5%. I don't know, it's not that much, but it is what it is. You guys are doing the best you can, right? Hopefully, if some of you listen to me, maybe only 70% of you will vote Democrat, or maybe 65% of you will vote Democrat. Who knows? Some of you guys are asking who's speaking. My name is Tzvi. I am the person who runs this page. So thank you guys for watching. But anyway, so just wanted to share some thoughts. It's just incredible, and to me, it's one of those things where it's not even so much the voting, how the Jews in America vote. It's just you guys are not here. You guys don't live here. And I have a rule in life, if you've never experienced, if you've never seen up close, if you've never, learned, if you've never read, don't speak. If you've never been to a settlement, I heard some woman, I was sent another screenshot of an American Jewish woman, or a Russian Jewish woman, who's apparently well-read, traveled to Israel. She says the settlers are the people who throw rocks. I mean, it's just, it's astounding. It's astounding. You've never been to a settlement. You never been to Judea and Samaria. You never met any of the people. You never went for Shabbat. You never spent a nanosecond in this part of the country, and all you know is what you read on some headline in CNN or New York Times or BBC or wherever, even Fox News, and you talk. It's astounding. The ignorance, my friends, is just astronomical. Astronomical. Yes, my friend is saying, Kessin, fellow fan, commentator, wine merchant, Alexa, good friend. Yeah, speaking of wine merchant, I wanted to mention to you guys that, speaking of the Golan, I'll leave you guys with this one final thought, just so you understand, and this might explain why, a lot of commentators say there's a chasm between the Jews in Israel and the Jews in America in the thought processes. My friends, I'll tell you, I do marketing. One of my clients is Golan Heights Winery, and I'll give you guys a little bit of full disclosure. The people who run Golan Heights Winery, the owners, are, they're politically left of center. They're not super lefty, they're left of center. Centrist left of center. They're not big fans of Bibi. But if you ask them, do you think that it's a good thing that Trump or that any American president recognized the Golan Heights as being official part of Israel? They will tell you yes, unequivocally yes. Do you think and then you ask them the next question, do you think it's a good idea to give away the Golan Heights to Syria? They will, apart from the fact that they do business there, they will tell you unequivocally no. It would be the dumbest thing ever. It would be categorically the dumbest thing ever. And my friends, their winery recently received astronomical, crazy scores from Decanter magazine, and I think from Wine Spectator, and also Robert Parker. And now, actually, they're speaking of Dubai, speaking of the Arab nation states, they just announced that they're going to be sending their wines, selling their wines as of Thursday in Dubai. So, my friends, even the people who don't like Bibi, who may even think that Bibi is not the most savory character, will agree with Trump in not giving away the Golan Heights to our enemies. Okay, my friends? And it just goes to show that if, you live in an actual reality that's being spoken of, and you see things firsthand, and you're on the ground, then you can speak, then you can form an opinion, an actual, real, holistic opinion based on all the facts. If you don't, if you live in Brooklyn, and you live in Manhattan, and you live in Miami, and you live in California, and I think 60% of Jews in America have never even been to Israel, even the ones that have never been to Judea and Samaria, you cannot form an opinion, an informed opinion, on these things, on these topics. That is basically it, my friends. That's really basically it. If you want to know more, if you want to learn, come here. I'll give you a tour. I'll have friends who can give you a tour, and then we can have a conversation. And if you still hold the same opinion, you could tell me why or why not. But for you to sit in your house in Manhattan, wherever it is that you are, and you read a headline on CNN and this and that and the other, or listen to AOC, who claims that she's a Marano, like a descendant of Spanish Jews, actually some of whom went to Tzfat and wrote Kabbalistic works after the expulsion from Spain. I don't know. I have nothing. If you listen to AOC, I have nothing to tell you, because clearly you're beyond help. You are a Jew who's beyond help. Anyway, my friends, that's all I got for you tonight. I hope you got a lot out of this, and Baruch Hashem, we've solved our technological issues here on this blog, and B'ezrat Hashem, I'll be talking to you guys very, very soon. All right, for those of you who are voting early, happy voting, and stay safe out there. All right, talk to you soon.